Hey everyone, welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So we are going to put an end to the question, is Peter Stokkebye's luxury Navy Flake the same as Sutliff's 507C Virginia slices? I got samples of both of them.
Samples.
Big ones. This is a pound of the Stokkebye. And that's a pound of the
Virginia slices.
Now, one of the differences that I've seen visually is that the Stokkebye slices are about 3 to 4 inches long. The flakes are.
Yeah.
The Virginia slices, the Sutliff, is a good 7 inches long.
Really?
Yeah. They're much longer. Now,
oh yeah, look at that.
Comparing them as far as what they look like,
They look pretty close.
they look pretty close. It looks to me like the Stokkebye is a little bit darker than the Virginia slices. Now, on record, Tobacco Reviews says that Virginia slices are straight, bright, matured Virginias. That's all there is in it. Okay? The Stokkebye, they say that it is Old Belt flue-cured Virginias with some Louisiana Perique. And the talk has been, well, Sutliff has their Virginia slices made by STG anyway. Mm-hmm. So they're the same product.
Yeah.
They're the same thing. And that there might be a mistake in the listing of Tobacco Reviews that it contains Perique. Some people say there is no Perique in it. It's a mistake. Some people say, yes, there is Perique. As a matter of fact, one of the top reviewers for Tobacco Reviews, Jim Inks, who's Jim Amish, right, says that there is a difference
Between the two.
the Perique is in the
Present in the Navy Flake.
So, to dispel any kind of questions here, we're going to try both of them. And we're going to give you our honest opinion of what we get. Now, just to talk a little bit about the Navy Flake, it's on Tobacco Reviews. It says it is a vapor of Virginia Perique. It is a bulk. It's in a flake. The strength on it is moderate. The room note on it is moderate. And the taste is moderate on it, okay? A couple of things that I have seen people talk about the luxury Navy Flake is that it's super grassy, it's very citrusy, kind of sour a little bit. What you would expect out of a Virginia, you get a breadiness, an earthiness, a woodiness with it. But it also says, people say that there is that raisiny hint of Perique in it. Okay. So let's talk about the Virginia slices. What I've seen on this for the Virginia slices is that the strength on this is mild. The room note is pleasant, and the taste on this is moderate. By the way, Virginia slices looks like it gets a little higher review than the Navy Flake. Yeah. Some of the people on this one say that this is a very one-dimensional flavor, not real complex.
With your same grassy hay flavors.
Right, the Virginia slices, but still has that tartness, sourness, still has the citrus, still has the grassy, but it might be a little sweeter than the Navy Flake. And then also you still get a little bit of the floral, a little bit of woodiness, a little bit of earthiness on it as well. All right, so we are going to load up. Let's load up with Virginia slices first.
Okay.
We're going to load up with Virginia slices first. We're going to smoke it, kind of talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to load up the Navy Flake.
Yes.
and try it and then do some comparisons. All right, here we go.
Yeah, there is that tanginess right there. Kind of sour smell.
Why don't you get the other one and let's do a comparison on the tin note real quick.
Okay. I already smell the difference. There is that sweet, figgy, kind of raisiny-ness to it. You can smell it right there. It's a lot more sugary.
There is a difference in the tin note. The Virginia Slices to me is very, very bready.
Yes.
Very bready and very
sour.
grassy.
Yeah. Little sour. Yep.
And the Navy Flake has...
Shit, we need to make sure.
the Navy Flake has a little hit of darkness to it. Kind of that dark fruit. And to me, the Navy Flake smells sweeter than the Virginia Slices.
Yes, it does. That's what I'm getting.
Now, I
seems sweeter
do
than
still
this
get
one.
that hint of hay, grassy hay. But this one, the Navy Flake, has a darker scent to it and a little bit of sweetness, more sweetness to it.
That's
All
what
right.
I'm getting to.
All right, so this one is there. We're going to
Put
put that one
now.
aside, and we're going to start with the Virginia Slices. I'm smoking my Virginia Slices in a Reed Robertson pipe that I got at the Muletown show last year. Okay, so the Virginia Slices breaks apart really nicely. The moisture level on this is perfect. It's not too wet. And it breaks up into kind of a long ribbon styled, very thin but long ribbon styled flake kind of cut on this. We're not going to get into detail on the tastes and this. Our main concern right now is: are they similar? Are they the same? Are they different?
Yeah.
What is the prognosis on this?
Yeah, because we can do a review on the individual tobacco at a later date.
Well, and we know, and these are old classics. They've been around for a long, long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Both of these have, and so many people do already know these blends, and so it may not be necessary.
Yeah, and one of them won't be along for
Well,
much
and that's
longer.
what we're trying to find out. And that's, we're trying to find out, is this a good substitute for that? You know?
So far, based off the smell, if you can live with a little bit of sweetness, just off the tin note, it's promising. It's probably different. I'm almost certain it's different, but about how I remember it when I had these the first time I had these.
Okay, so the initial light up, I'm getting kind of a spiciness.
Yeah, a little bit of spice.
I'm getting lots of grass, hay. Not so much sweetness.
No, kind of that standard tobacco taste as well. A little bit of that.
Yeah.
Just the smoke.
Not very complex. There, it's very minimalistic. Get a slight lemony hint to it.
Yeah, a little bit of sour too. Not getting very much of that breadiness that you were talking about when you smelled it.
In the nose,
tin note. Yeah. It's a straightforward
Straightforward Virginia.
Straightforward Virginia smoke.
And then, now, both of these are the same age. They came out exactly the same time. Well, they were available exactly the same time. So, I mean, the age difference is nominal on this.
Yeah.
So we're not talking. This is all fresh tobacco. This is not, any of it is aged.
Yeah.
I would say that the flavor on this is moderate to medium, not mild. It's moderate to medium. And the strength on this is probably moderate. And I don't really feel a big nick hit on this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back to this if we need to, but let's go ahead and...
Well, let's give an assessment of the room note while it's just this.
Yeah.
Because that is one thing that's going to be hard for us to dictate, is we've already got the smoke from this in the room.
Yeah,
So-
well, I'm not sure that the room note's really going to make a difference. What most people are looking for
Taste.
is the taste profile, and so, yeah, we can still talk about the room note.
Yeah, it's
And I get a very tobacco-y.
Yeah, it's
root
tolerable.
note. To me, it's it depends on who you are, but it's very typical of a straight Virginia.
Okay.
All right, now the Navy Flake. I'm not sure how they came out with the name Navy Flake. You can see how these flakes they're a little bit wider and they're much shorter. Length is easy to cure because, you just cut it in your places. But the width does
Play a little.
lead me to believe that maybe we're talking about two different things. Who knows? And a lot of people, hey, I want to tell you that we appreciate the feedback that we've gotten on this. And a lot of people agree that it is the same thing. They've heard Jeremy McKenna talk about it and say, yes, they are the same thing. They've read a lot online about it. And it's not that I don't mistrust or distrust anybody's opinion. I'm just going to try it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it and just see.
For a solid avenue.
Yeah, and our palates are different, so it's possible that we get different hits on each thing, but we should be able to tell if they're pretty close.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so I'm trying the Navy Flake in a Jason Patrick Lovat.
Okay.
Got this at the Chicago show last year.
This one breaks up in much finer.
Much smaller pieces.
Much finer
Yeah.
tobacco, yeah.
It still has that skinniness to it.
Yeah.
But the pieces are not as long.
Yeah.
So you're talking about 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch pieces.
Yeah, yeah. Much finer tobacco. Moisture level still pretty much. Yeah, so let's go for it.
All right. Okay. In the initial light, I'm getting a darker feel on my palate.
Yep, yep. There's a little bit more sourness to it on the on the tongue. I feel a little more bite with this when I puff it as hard as I did with the Virginia slices.
This one does have a little more bite to it. You're right. Yeah, I'm getting that stinging on my
Stinging
tongue.
on the tongue, yeah. Yeah, this one has a little bit more, so I will have to treat it a little slower.
And the balance of flavors are not the same. They're not the same. In the Virginia slices, the Sutliff Virginia slices, where I got mostly citrus and hay and grass, on this, I'm getting a pepper, a smoky characteristic.
Little bit of sweetness. The Virginias are just a base that other flavors it seems are built on top of.
So, honestly,
Yeah, I mean we've only been puffing at it
Yeah.
for
but already on my tongue, I favor the Virginia slices than I do the Navy
too.
Flake.
the Virginia slices. To me are just more of an all day, every day. This
On this, I'm getting a hit of chemical taste on this Navy Flake.
could be that bite that we got on our tongue. Maybe there's a topping.
Or a casing, yeah. It's possible. But I almost get a slight hint of dark fired in this. I'm sorry, guys.
I can't find them to be the same.
I know that people say that these are exactly the same blends. They're not tasting that way. I challenge you to do the same thing that we've done, if you can get your hands on any Virginia slices at this point.
Yeah.
But
Now, it's not bad.
No.
This is a good.
if you're
tobacco.
into a more peppery kind of smoke, the Navy Flake is, the flavors are there. They're good flavors.
Yeah.
It's darker though. It's not as bright as the Virginia slices.
They can be compared, but they're not the same.
That's a good summarization. They're comparable, but they are not the same as far as we can tell. Now, we're just two morons from Texas, so who knows?
Yeah.
But these do not taste the same. They do not. And I got these two exactly the same day.
Yep.
Exactly the same day. From the same supplier. As soon as they came available, I put in my order.
Well, and I mean, this one is just much darker. There's more to
Visually,
it.
you can see.
Yeah, there's more to it.
There's more blonde streaks in the Virginia slices, where there's more, very little blonde in the Navy Flake. It's like they're using more of the flue-cured, matured leaf in that one than they are in the Virginia slices.
Yeah.
Now, it's possible. Look, who am I to say Jeremy McKenna is wrong? That is not what I'm saying. But it is possible that STG made both of these. But with all this controversy that's been going on with STG, can we honestly say that STG is being straightforward with Sutliff by saying, oh, yeah, they're exactly the same? Are they? Or are they slightly different? Is STG going to give Sutliff one of their highest selling tobaccos exactly the same and just rename it? I don't know.
Could be the same leaf, different process. I mean, the leaves themselves.
A different balance. To me, there's a different balance.
It's so much finer and so much more. It looks pressed. And like there's a casing.
They're both pressed.
No, but I mean, this looks like
more layers.
Yeah, the difference is this looks like straight lines of tobacco leaf where you can see some straight leaves going through some of it, whereas this looks like almost like plywood, where it's just compressed wood chips all pressed together. So maybe they ground up or broke down.
Back to the Virginia slices.
Yeah, they ground up or broke down the leaves a little more or something. Could be same leaf, different process. That alone is going to change it completely.
I enjoy the mouthfeel of the Virginia slices better.
Yeah.
I like the flavor profile better. I like the creaminess better. There's not as much bite as there is in the Navy Flake. Just our opinion, guys. I would really recommend that you put these side by side and smoke them and see what you think.
Try it, yeah. Yeah, once again, if you can get your hand on this stuff, try it. Because I don't think you're going to be displeased with the smoke. It's just, they're... A replacement for Virginia slices is this? No. Not for me.
Not an exact replacement.
No, not
a
for me.
Substitute, maybe.
Yeah.
But a replacement, an identical replacement, I don't think so. And I have to say that I do like the Virginia, which is sad because
that's the one
that's going to disappear. Yeah. But golly, I hate that. Tell us what you think, guys. Give us your opinions. I'm of the opinion they are not the same blend. They're very close. They're close.
Yep.
But they are not the same, and I don't get the same experience from smoking both of these.
I was about to say, and even just having them both right here in front of you, looking at them,
you can
smelling the tins,
and
then getting the room notes, and then even coming down to the taste. They could taste exactly the same. They're not. They obviously are not the same thing.
They don't look the same.
They don't look the same, They don't
They
smell,
don't smell the same. So chances are
They
not
don't
going to
taste the same. And so
You
for
know?
me, I don't know if maybe that's the block I'm going through is I'm not trying them real or like I'm just going in with a bias or anything like that. I don't know. But yeah, they don't look, they don't smell the same. They don't taste the same to me. I just can't get past it.
Yeah, I like them. I like them both, but I like the Virginia slices better.
They all have, they have their place in the rotation. To me, this is more up my alley. I'm with you on that. This is something I would smoke more often, and could all the day.
All day.
Yeah,
And this is an all-day smoke, too, if you like the spice.
yeah. I couldn't handle that much spice.
But all that spice would not allow me to smoke it all day long.
Yeah,
I'd have a leather tongue by the end of the day.
Yeah, that's me too.
All right, guys. Well, that's what we came to find out, and we wanted to show you. Tell us what you think. Maybe we're crazy. I don't know. But here it is, side by side.
Mm-hmm. You guys let us know.
Yeah. Tell me what you think. We'll do another one next week. We've got a few that we're trying to see if we can replace some of the Virginia Periques that Sutliff had on in their bulk and in their tin. Their 1849 is a Virginia Perique that was popular, and so we're trying to find some replacements or some substitutions for those.
Yep.
As well, and we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. Until then, don't forget.
Make all your piping moments count.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week. So
See you
long.
guys.
Bye-bye.